All right, now we're going to have more fun. The script says let's have fun, but I think we've been having some fun, haven't we? We're going to have more fun now, and we're going to be doing something kind of unique. It's a unique learning experience with the folks from Indianapolis ComedySportz are here, and let's welcome them to the stage, please.
Is this on? Yeah. Hello. Excellent. I'm not sure where the corpus went, so I'm just grabbing one of these at the moment. We are with ComedySportz Indianapolis. My name is Ed, and this is Claire. Just so we know, who here has seen ComedySportz before? Awesome. That's excellent. For those of you that have not, we do improvisational comedy. And we had talked about coming in and doing some entertainment for you this morning, but we, in the long run, thought it would be better to do some hands-on things and let you see how it is we work. Because the skills that we utilize as improvisers translate into other settings, and especially into this topic of diversity, awareness, all of those things. So we want to talk first about the basics of improv. When we are improvising, we're working without a script. So we have to pay attention.
Here, Ed.
Excellent. Thank you, Claire.
Let me take this one.
Awesome. Thank you. So we are working without a script. We pay attention to what's going on in the moment. We are trying to live in the moment, much like we have to do in our day-to-day lives. Number two, we also have to find ways to accept whatever somebody else is bringing, whatever their point of view is. We have to find a way to accept it and bring it into what we are doing. That's the only way we can move forward, is acceptance. Number three, we work together. We work as a team. We rely on each other's strengths. We help support each other's weaknesses. We are there collectively as a group for one effort. Number four, we commit to what we're doing. If we're going to do it, we give it our best shot. We don't just go in and then give up halfway through. We try to follow through with our best ability. Number five, we have fun while doing all of that. So those five, paying attention, acceptance, making sure that we work as a team and put that focus first, commitment, having fun. So we're going to do some exercises today. Some of them big group things. Some of them will bring up some volunteers up here for. But in order to get us kicked off, we want to do something that's just silly and fun. We often use it as a warm-up for other audiences. We're going to sing My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. Most of you should know that song. If you don't, fake it. So what's going to happen is you're going to sing along with us. And as you sing, if you sing a word that starts with a B, you are going to stand up. If you are already standing and you sing a word that starts with a B, you're going to sit back down. It's just that simple. All right, is everybody ready to try that?
Yes. So you might want to push your chairs back.
Right, you don't want to upset the table.
Your lap is exposed.
All right, hey Claire, why don't you kick us off?
Oh, excellent. How about everybody warm up on this note. Here we go. My body lies over the ocean. My body lies over the sea. My body lies over the ocean. So bring back my body to me. Oh, bring back, oh, bring back my body to me, Bring back, oh, bring back my body to me.
So, improv is all about involvement. We don't really do a lot of slide work, PowerPoints, or handouts. It is about your personal involvement, which is highly important. So, we want to get started today with everybody kind of getting to know the people around them just a little bit more with an exercise called 1 to 5 handshakes. So, you're going to pick a number right now from 1 to 5. So pick 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. When we say go, you're going to get up to the best of your ability for those that are mobile and move around shaking hands with people around you. Now, you may choose different numbers, and that will be represented in the number of times you shake hands. So if I choose the number 1, and Claire chooses the number 3, it would look something like this. My hand stopped moving, she continued trying to shake my hand 2 more times. Your goal, after a few handshakes, is to try to find what the majority of people are actually shaking, and you can change to get that so that we end up with the majority of people shaking hands the same number of times. Because you're separated by level, I assume that we will have a consensus down here, a consensus in the second, a consensus in the third, and a consensus up top. But you're going for a consensus of handshake. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So are we clear on that? You pick a number from 1 to 5, you shake that number of times, make alterations after a few encounters to see if you can get everybody, or at least most people, on that same number. Are we good with that? Any questions? You can talk, absolutely. I don't think I can stop you. Yes. All right, start shaking.
I'll be there later this afternoon.
All right, let's start making our way back to our seats. Just make your way back.
Got a lot of
Loving all the chatter. That's wonderful. All right, so I have some questions for you. How many of you were steadfast? Did anybody just never change their number? I said 3, I'm doing 3. Anybody? Yeah? Okay. Who changed every time to try to match the person? Anybody? Anybody? I see a few hands, right? Who just kind of felt like they maybe adapted a couple of times, but only after a couple of tries to get your own handshake across? It was funny, I saw some people go up to each other and they did it and they were like, yeah, great, all right. So this is basically just kind of a very quick peek into your adaptability levels. It kind of speaks to that, about how willing you are to adapt, maybe how willing you're not. And neither of these things are good or bad. We're not ever there to point out what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. We're simply there to help you recognize some of these traits in yourselves and in others, because that kind of shows the stability of the group. If we have too many people who are too willing to change all the time, where's that stability? But if we also have too many people who never want to change, where are we going to get the progress from? So it usually people kind of fall into that 2, 3, 4 handshakes. Was anybody just 1? Just 1, right? I love the ones. It's just so hard because you're just trying to pump the hand. It's just, oh, it's hard. So that's just an exercise that we do that kind of lets us recognize the amount of adaptability that we have within each other, and recognizing that within each other.
All right, the next thing that we want to do is another whole group activity, and this is called Who Among You? And this is another one where you will be up and among the people on your level, so get used to each other. For Who Among You, we'll throw out things that are any kind of category, like who among you is the oldest among their siblings? You have to find somebody close by that you think might qualify as that, and you'll just put your hand on their shoulder. We're talking good touch only, just on the shoulder. And everybody has to select somebody that they think that applies to. Once we have those people selected, then we will ask who really is the oldest in their family. And we'll see how close people are. We'll go through a few rounds of different things. So, everybody ready to try that? That means you're going to have to get up again, be ready to be mobile. Again, this is hands-on work. This is not about sitting there looking pretty. Even though you do that very well.
Can they only pick one other person?
They can only pick one. So if you think there are two or more that apply to you, you go with the one that you think it most applies to.
Okay.
So let's start off with just the opposite of what I asked. Who among you is the youngest among their siblings? Go ahead and put a hand on a shoulder. You got to pick somebody. Go find somebody. You may have to move. You may have to mobilize.
Just a guess. There's no way of knowing.
Make a choice. Make a choice. All right. It appears that most of you have made a choice. So raise your hand high if you really are the youngest among your siblings.
I'm an only child, so I guess I
I am not. Moving on. Who among you was born outside of Indiana? Born outside of Indiana. Put a hand on their shoulder if you think they were born outside of Indiana. Make your selections.
Chains of people.
Alright, it looks like most of you have made a selection. Raise your hand if you really were born outside of Indiana. Wow. Awesome. Alright. Your next selection, look at the group and pick who among you is a dog person. Who out there loves dogs? Put your hand on their shoulder if you think they just love dogs.
Dog person? She has a very friendly face. I can tell she was gonna. You look like you like dogs.
Okay, it looks like most of you have made your selection. Now raise your hand if you really do love dogs. There's our dog folks. Awesome. Alright, I want to get at least one more in there. At least one more in there. Who among you has a tattoo that you cannot see? Who has a tattoo that you cannot see? Who among you has a tattoo that you cannot see?
I got it too.
Alright, it looks like we're making our final selections. Excellent. We made choices on who has that tattoo. Raise your hand if you really have a tattoo that we cannot see. Awesome. Awesome. Give yourself a round of applause. Go and have a seat. Very nice. Alright, so as you are taking your seats back, I want to talk about that last exercise a little bit. There are a variety of reasons why we throw something like that in. And first of all, I love the fact that when people would reveal, yes, I really am a dog person, yes, I really do have a tattoo, I would hear laughter and joy, and that's great. We love that. Of all the emotions, we prefer the positive ones. But there's also a sense that when we look at anybody, we start processing things immediately. There's a great, not too long ago, book that was out called Blink, all about how, on a subconscious level, when you look at people, you already start evaluating. Your brain just does it based on all kinds of past information, whether you want it to or not. You start assessing. We do it naturally as humans. It's part of our brain makeup. We assess immediately. That doesn't mean that you can't change those assessments, but being aware of it is also important. So when you look at people and start making those snap decisions, which again will happen, be aware that what you perceive, even if it's a feeling, may not be the reality. Not that I have anything against gut feelings. Gut feelings are a very good thing to go on. But also bear in mind that we are wired, we are geared to look at people and start assessing. For those of you that then raised your hands when I asked you to reveal if those things apply to you, thank you for being willing to share of yourself. That's the only way that we then overcome some of that misunderstanding or the expectations. Getting to know the people around you, letting people get to know you. We find so much that we share and so much that we don't. And all of those things illuminate our relationships and illuminate our lives. They help us to understand ourselves, our community, so much better. And if we never take that step to get beyond what we don't know or what we are afraid to reveal, we'll never get to the place where we can function to our best capacity as a community. All right, got a little deep. I'm going to turn it over to Claire.
I found myself mesmerized. I was like, what's next? We got it. I know what's next. This next exercise is called Word at a Time Story. And I was told that we have 4 volunteers who are willing to come and help us with this activity. So I need 4 people. Come on up here. Let's give them a big round of applause. They're brave. They're brave. So come on up, guys. While they're coming up and taking their seats and Ed's getting them situated, I'm going to tell you what's going on, and you guys listen in so you know what's happening. This is an exercise that we do not only in all of our workshops, in all of our classes, but this is a game that actually the players at ComedySportz play as well, and it's one of our favorites. And you guys, here, so you don't have to, yeah, they can see you. You guys are going to tell us a story, and you're going to tell it 1 word at a time. Okay? We're going to start with you. We're going to go down the line, and when it gets to him, then we're going to come back around to you. So we're going to just kind of keep it going. Now, for this very first try, okay, I want to set some goals. All right? The only goal I want is for it to make sense. I want us to just shoot for a sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences that go together. We're talking subject-verb agreement. We're talking, thes and nice articles instead of skipping those over. Because when we get to these stories, we tend to kind of forget how a sentence should go. You'll see what happens. So you're going to tell a story. Yes, Ed Trout. Yes, of course we can. Please introduce yourselves. No, you don't have to stand up if you don't want to, but you can. I encourage it. Yes, I love it. All right, who are you?
Hi, I'm Shayla Martin. I'm from the Peace Learning Center.
Excellent. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Medino Viveros, and I'm from the Peace Learning Center as well.
Great. All right.
I'm Rasha Brown, and I'm from the Peace Learning Center also.
All right, my name is Terry Jones. I'm from the Peace Learning Center as well.
Great. Excellent. Yeah, let's give them a better round of applause. I love the golf clap. All right. So we need a title of this story for you guys to tell. Now, do you have any questions? Does it make sense to you what's going to happen? 1 word, and we'll come around. So if you need to start a new sentence, just start a new sentence. All right? If you feel like you need to move the story along, cool. Yes, exactly. So, somebody give me the name of some kind of animal, just from the crowd somewhere. An elephant. And now someone give me an occupation. All right. The elephant and the janitor is the story we are going to tell today. So, improvisers, are you ready? All right, please begin. You can just start telling the story, just with 1 word.
Once. Fine.
Time. There.
What?
And
Elephant.
Whose.
Favorite.
person.
Was.
A.
Janitor.
First of all, yes. Goal met. We're going to pretend like that a pond in the back.
I apologize.
It's fine. It's a pond. Hey, once a pond. Sure, why not? All right, that's true. So we have the sentence. Once upon a time there was an elephant whose favorite person was a janitor. Love it. Let's continue the story. Who ended that sentence? Was that you? All right, so please continue.
But
The.
Janitor.
Didn't.
like
It.
The.
Elephant.
didn't
Care.
If.
The
Janitor.
Light.
It.
So far, so good. All right. So far, so good. We have emotional investment from the elephant and the janitor, which is always nice. And now I challenge you, since you guys are doing a really good job, I challenge you to bring some plot into it. All right? All right? You're doing great, but let's bring, like, something's going to happen. Okay? Got it. So I think you are beginning. Yes, go ahead.
Yesterday.
Evening.
he
Was.
walking
Down.
the street.
Planning. The street.
Okay. Was
It's all right. All right. So, okay, we'll pause. Walking down the street, and there you go.
He.
tripped
On.
a
Rock.
after
He.
saw
The.
elephant.
Okay.
He.
Followed
The.
man
Towards.
the
Location.
Don't be too specific now.
so
He.
could
Spy.
it
When.
he
Got.
it
He.
ran away.
To.
The
Spot.
where
He.
tripped.
Yay! Give him a hand. Good job. Stay here. Good job. All right. So that was actually pretty good for the first try, and for them to never play this game before. Really nice job. So this game is really kind of an embodiment of what improv is to us, and it kind of has all the nice pieces that we like to talk about when we talk about improv, when we actually do improv. So each of these four only could contribute one word at a time. They didn't always get the most exciting word. Sometimes they had to say a the to make it make sense. And sometimes they got lost and had to pause and think about it. And that's okay. All of these people had to contribute to one big factor, and that's what improv really is. You cannot do improv alone. You can try, it may not be that funny, but you have to have other people with you in order to make these things make sense. And it's about lifting each other up, because, you know, a couple times he was like, what am I going to say but the? It's the only thing that makes sense in here. And that's okay. He accepted it and said the, because he recognized that that's where his puzzle piece fit. Because if you have just one or two words to contribute, you better make them count. You can't just say something that's in your mind that doesn't make sense with the rest of the group. It's all about making the group look good instead of yourself following your own agenda. And we had some sentences there that really flowed nicely. And you could tell that they kind of were on this wavelength of, this is the sentence that makes sense right now, and we don't have to pause so much. So I think they did a wonderful job. So please give them a round of applause. Thank you guys very much. You can have a seat. Nice job. You did a wonderful job. Thank you for being brave. Improv is not easy, and for people to just say, sure, I'll give it a try, that's a big deal. So thank you so much.
All right. Hello again. That is going to conclude our segment of the day. We wanted to end with the kids. They did an awesome job. And keep those principles in mind. They're great for what we're looking at today, but honestly, for us, they are basic life skills. So that living in the moment, acceptance, working with your team, whether that team is the other person up here with me, the people around you, around your table, the people in your home, in your office, wherever you are. They are your team. Work with them. Help them and let them help you. Commitment to what you're doing and enjoying it. You know, life is precious. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you have it. Thank you so much for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.